Hello students, I am Professor Navneet Kaur from EC Department, SIRT College, Bhopal. I'll be taking lecture of subject Digital Communication. In this lecture, I'll discuss differential phase shift keying system. In this lecture, I'll discuss the generation of DPSK signal and the demodulation of DPSK signal. DPSK, which is differential phase shift keying, it is type of phase modulation which is used to transmit data by altering the carrier wave's phase. In this system, instead of encoding information into absolute phases, the information is encoded using phase differences between successive signal transmission. The input sequence of binary bits is modified such that in DPSK system, the next bit depends upon the previous bit. So in the receiver, the previous received bits are used to detect the present bit. So DPSK system, it has an advantage that it does not need a synchronous carrier at the demodulator. The input sequence is modified that the next bit depends upon the previous bit. So the previous received bits are used to detect the present bit. Now first we will discuss the generation of the DPSK signal. Now in the block diagram of DPSK transmitter, we can see the input sequence DT which is given to XOR gate, and the another input is BT minus TB, which is the delayed signal of the BT, which is delayed by 1 bit duration, which is TB. The bit BT is generated, which is given as the XOR of DT and BT minus TB. This BT, it will be given to NRZ level encoder, which will represent this BT as +1 and -1 in case of 1 and 0 respectively. The sequence BT will modulate the sinusoidal carrier. So here we can see that in balance modulator, one of the input is the message signal, whereas the another input is the carrier signal. The output is given by Bt root 2p cos 2 pi f naught t, where Bt will have value either plus or -1 depending upon the input 1 or 0. So DPSK signal is represented by plus minus root 2p cos 2 pi f naught t. Now we will understand the DPSK transmitter with the help of the waveform. Here, the DT is the arbitrary sequence which is represented in the form of 1 and 0, where each bit is represented by the bit duration TB. Now, BT minus TB is 1 bit delayed version of BT. So this is BT signal, and here we can see that BT minus TB is delayed by 1 bit from BT. Here BT is given as XOR of DT and BT minus TB. So here we can see when both DT and BT minus TB are 0, BT is 0 since it is XOR of these two. But when DT is 1 and BT minus TB is 0, in that case BT is high because it is given as the XOR of the two. So here we will see that BT will be XOR of these two sequences. Now by observing the waveforms of BT, BT minus TB and DT, we will see that when DT is equal to 0, in that case we can see BT and BT minus TB are exactly equal. But when DT is equal to 1, we can see BT and BT minus TB are complement of each other. So when BT changes the level, the phase of the carrier is changed. Here we can see from the equation that when BT will change its level, that means when it will go from plus to minus or from minus to plus, the level of the modulated signal is changed. And we know from the waveforms we have seen that BT changes its level only when dt is equal to 1. This means that there will be change in the phase of the carrier only when dt is equal to 1. This is the basic difference between the BPSK signal and DPSK. In BPSK, phase of the carrier changes on both the symbols 1 and 0. Whereas in DPSK, the phase of the carrier changes only on symbol 1. So this is the main difference between BPSK and DPSK. Now, coming to the demodulation of the DPSK signal, we will see the DPSK receiver. Now, during the transmission, the DPSK signal undergoes some phase shift theta. The signal which will be received at the input of the receiver is given by Bt root 2p cos 2 pi f naught t plus theta, where theta represents the phase shift. Now, the received signal and the received signal delayed by 1 bit time TB are applied to the multiplier, which is written as synchronous demodulator. Now the multiplier output will be generated by the product of the received signal and 1 bit delayed version of the received signal. So output of this multiplier will be given as this expression Bt into Bt minus Tb 2p cos 2 pi f naught t plus theta into cos 2 pi f naught t minus Tb plus theta, where f naught is the carrier frequency and Tb is 1 bit period. Now here the Tb, which is 1 bit duration, it contains integral number of cycles of f naught, which is the carrier frequency. So f naught is given by some integer times fb. So f naught will be represented as n times fb. So f naught will be written as n upon tb. F naught into tb will be given as n. So this is the important result, which is product of carrier frequency and the bit duration tb is given by n, which is an integer. Now, again from the block diagram of the DPSK receiver, we can see that the output of the multiplier is given to the integrator and dump receiver. The integrator and dump receiver will sum up the incoming signal for 1 bit duration. Now, if we want to obtain the output at the end of the kth bit, which is represented by S0 KTB, the integrator will sum up the signal from K minus 1 TB to KTB. So the integrator will sum up this incoming signal for 1 bit duration TB, which will be from K minus 1 TB to KTB. Now here we can see here the multiplier output, which we have already discussed in previous slide. Now this multiplier output, when it will be given to the integrator will sum up the signal between K minus 1 TB to KTB. So here we can see that when we are doing the multiplication of the two signals, here cos A into cos B trigonometric formula will be used, which will be given as half cos A minus B plus cos A plus B. So putting the formula for cos A into cos B, we will get multiplier output as this expression. So here we have already done f naught into tb is represented by integer n. So I will substitute f naught into tb as small n. So I will get cos 2 pi n here. We know that cos 2 pi n is given as 1. So cos 2 pi n will be written as 1. So this value will be 1. So the multiplier output will be given as this equation. Now, when it will be given to the integrator will sum up for 1 bit duration from k minus 1 TB to KTB. This output is represented as S naught KTB. Now, it is written as integration of both the terms between k minus 1 TB and k TB. Now the second integral will give the value 0 because here the cosine function is integrated for integral number of cycles. So the positive and negative values will cancel each other and the value of the second integral will be 0. So we are left with only first integral. So the integration of dt is t, and applying the upper limit and lower limit, we will get the result p into ktb minus k minus 1 tb. ktb will get cancelled, so we are left with only ptb. Now this is the output of the integrator and dump receiver, which is given as BKTB, BK minus 1 TB into PTB. Here P into TB represents the energy of one bit, which is represented by EB. Now here in this output signal, we can see that we have obtained the product of the two consecutive bits, which is BKTB and BK minus 1 TB. That means kth bit and K minus 1th bit. Now we know that when dt is equal to 0, in that case, bt and bt minus tb both are equal. That means two consecutive bits are equal to each other. So in that case, when both are equal, that means either they will both will be positive or they will both will be negative. In that case, the product will be positive because the product of two positive or product of two negative will always be positive. So the output in that case will be positive. So the output S naught KTB will be positive when dt is equal to 0, because in the case of dt is equal to 0, both consecutive bits will have same sign. So dt is equal to 0 means that the output is given as positive value. But when dt is equal to 1, in that case, bt and bt minus tb, that means two successive bits, are complement of each other. That means both are having positive sign. If one is plus 1, the previous bit will be minus 1. That means if the present bit is plus 1, the previous bit will be minus 1 or vice versa. So in that case, the product of the two successive bits will always be minus 1. So the output of the integrator and dump receiver will be negative. So when the output is negative, it will be concluded that the transmitted signal dt is 1. So by observing the sign of the output signal, we will conclude that when it is negative PTB, that means dt is equal to 1, and when it is positive PTB, that means dt is equal to 0. Now this is how we will recover our message signal dt from the modulated signal. Now coming to the advantages and the disadvantages of the DPSK signal. First, we will take the advantages of the DPSK signal. As seen in the generation and the detection of the DPSK signal, DPSK signal does not need carrier at its receiver. Hence, the complicated circuitry for generation of local carrier is avoided. The second advantage is that the bandwidth requirement of DPSK is reduced as compared to that of BPSK. In DPSK, we will consider always the bits in pairs. So here, since data is transmitted as a combination of two bits, so here the bandwidth is reduced. Now coming to the disadvantages, the probability of error or bit error rate of DPSK is higher than that of BPSK. In DPSK, a bit determination is made on the basis of signal received in two successive bit intervals. Hence, noise or error in one bit interval causes error to two bit determination. So we can say that the error rate of DPSK is higher than that of BPSK, or we can say that the here error always occur in pair. Noise interference in DPSK is more than the BPSK system. So these are the advantages and the disadvantages of the DPSK signal. Now coming to the DPSK applications. The application of DPSK signal mainly includes wireless communication like RFID, wireless LANs, and Bluetooth. The commonly used application is Bluetooth, wherever alternatives of DPSK has been used like 8 level DPSK and pi by 4 DQPSK modulation systems. Now, this is all for today's lecture. Thank you.